Okay, so we're going to try this out. We're going to talk about currency. This is what we began to talk about last class, and I'm going to do this in a couple of videos that you can review at your leisure, and then we'll try to move on from there. So let's begin. Let's start the slideshow. Okay, so we've been talking about international political economy. And so far, we spent a lot of time talking about the flow of goods or trade, where we have some good, let's say a barrel of wine over here. It's here. That's going to cross some border. Here's the border wall. And that's going to be imported here by this person. And this person needs to pay for this wine with some currency. And so whoever is sending the wine needs to agree upon whatever they're going to be paid with. And they have to share that agreement with this person over here, right? And the same thing with flows of money. When I'm lending money to a country or investing money in another country, we have to have a shared expectation about what that money is worth. And this is somewhat important because there can be some disagreement about what money is worth because each country has their own currency, right? So when we're making exchanges between trade, we have to decide whose currency we're going to be using. When we are having financial flows between states, we have to agree upon what is the value of the currency in which I'm lending or investing. And this has ramifications not just besides trade and finance, but we could think about the origins of World War II, how Germany was upset about how it was treated at the end of World War I. And one of the things that it did was devalue its currency. So it made it difficult for states in Europe to trade with each other because of that disagreement. And so with the end of the World War II coming, we see the big three of FDR, Stalin, and Churchill agree upon that there needs to be some system in place that stabilizes how currency is evaluated. And this was hashed out in the Bretton Woods Conference, which set up the Bretton Woods system. And essentially what that system says is the United States dollar is going to be the prime currency, right? And that currency is going to be at a specific value, $35 per ounce of gold. So if the United States is going to print $35, here's a 20, here's a 10, here's a 5, it prints that in a press, then that needs to be 1 ounce gold. And everybody can agree upon that value, right? Why gold? We said that everybody value gold in class, and said one of the reasons why is it's rare, it's durable, and there's a shared assessment of its value. Okay, so that's the system. The United States had this system where it would only print $35 for every ounce of gold it had, and other currencies pegged itself to the dollar. So everybody was in agreement what currency was worth. And this was great because everybody had confidence in the dollar, and because everybody had confidence in the dollar, they had confidence in all the currencies that were pegged to the dollar. So it really helped spur international trade and international finance because everybody agreed upon what the value of these currencies were, right? So we talked a little bit about this already. So why money? What is money? It's a medium of exchange, so we can agree upon what things are worth. It has a unit of value, so I know it's what it's worth, $20 versus $10 versus $5. And it has a store of value, meaning that $20 a day is going to be worth $20 tomorrow, hopefully. Right? But essentially, it's an article of faith that we all agree upon what the value of the money is. Right? So why metal? Why do we use gold? We talked about this: portable, durable, rare, but still available. And we see metal coins going back far back in history. Okay. So we have this gold standard, and again, it's like we have a certain pile of golds equals a certain pile of cash. Country can't just print more money. If it wants to put more money into its currency or into its financial system, it's going to have to find more gold. And this is what we call as an exchange rate, right? So if I have $35, again, so 20, 10, 5, want to cash this in, I walk over to a bank, or better yet, the Treasury departments, and I say, give me 1 ounce of gold, right? And because this is a system of exchange, that they should be able to do that, right? So after I bring $70, they give me 2 ounces, and so on. Okay. Sorry, this is also the official rates in France. I'm sorry, I wrote over that. Okay, so seems like a reasonable system, but it ended. And one of the reasons why it ended is the United States printed a lot of extra money for the Vietnam War and did not necessarily get any more gold for that. And so people and some countries, namely France, started to press the Treasury to exchange dollars for gold. And eventually the United States was just running too low on gold, and so it decided to suspend that altogether. So the United States is not on a gold standard or any other peg standard anymore, but instead it has a free floating exchange rate, which we'll talk about later. But this kind of makes sense because, well, if you think about it, why is money valuable? And say, well, because we all agree upon it. Well, why do we all agree upon it? Well, because it's pegged to gold. Well, why is gold valuable? Well, because we all agree upon it. So what we're essentially doing is getting rid of the middleman, and now the U.S. dollar's worth is going to be a function of its monetary policy and the strength of its economy, and how much do people want to be holding cash in times of need. So we're leaving gold out of that, and we're getting rid of the gold standard.